Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is another infographic show reaction, and the video is 20 US foods you never knew were illegal to eat. And I mean, going into this, I know certain things like Kinder. I know Kinder eggs are banned in the US. But other than that, I don't really know what other foods there are. I know there are a lot of foods that are banned in the US that are in the UK, and a lot of foods that are in the UK that are banned in the UK that are in the US. But I'm assuming it's just the ones that are in the US that have been banned. But yeah, man, we're just gonna get into this. I'm interested in seeing what foods are here because I don't know. I don't really know to what extent it will go to. Will it be like certain foods with certain chemicals, or will it just be like Kinder eggs because they got like little toys in it or whatever? I'm not too sure, but we're gonna get into this. Quick shout out to my Instagram, my Twitter, links in the description for those interested in following. On the way to 6K on Instagram, so I'd appreciate you following that. Save my Patreon links all there for those interested. I've got a lot of Patreon exclusive reactions for those interested. But let's get into this one, man. Let's see what the infographic show has for us today.
If you walk into a supermarket or an all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant, it's easy to get blown away by the sheer selection of foods. In America, if you want something to eat and have the cash, odds are you can find it. But that's not always the case. Some iconic foods are actually illegal in America. If you try to sell or import these foods, you could wind up having your goods seized by the government and facing fines or even jail time in some cases.
Oh, wow.
Some are dangerous to the eater, some are banned for conservation reasons, and some are just flat out shocking.
So you see how I reacted to how the JFK airport disposes of like certain foods because they have certain chemicals or like things in them that could cause damage to the US environment or whatever. Would Kinder eggs, like say someone like brought in one Kinder egg for themselves and it got found, would they would they treat it like that? Would they let them have it? I'm guessing if it would be seen as smuggling even if it's just one, right? But I don't know, that's an interesting one. But like Kinder eggs have to get to the US somehow, and obviously people probably have had them in the US. So I wonder like how it does work. Is it just people do smuggle and get away with it?
The one thing they all have in common, they're not going to be on the shelves anytime soon. But the first in this list might be a fond childhood memory for many. Number 20, Kinder Surprise Chocolate Eggs. A tasty treat imported from Italy, these desserts are a candy and a toy in one. The rich milk chocolate shell covers a plastic egg, similar to the ones hidden in Easter egg hunts. When the happy child eats the chocolate shell and opens the egg, they find a mystery toy inside. This made many kids very happy, but it wasn't without its risks. Authorities were worried about the toy being a choking hazard, and US policies ban any candy from containing a non-nutritive object. So the Kinder Egg was banned in America despite protests, and the Ferrero company issued a new version for Americans without the plastic egg and toy.
Ferrero company?
But what's the fun in that? The next
without a
company
toy?
issued a new version for Americans without the plastic egg and
I mean, hey, it's better for the environment, right? That's what I'm gonna say.
But what's the fun in that? The next entry was also a sweet treat, but it hid its danger much more effectively. Number 19, Konjac Jelly Cups. Remember those Jello cups you used to get in your lunch? Popular in Japan, Konjac Jelly Cups look similar but come in smaller portions that can be slurped in one go. Made from a root, it's popular for being extremely low in calories and having a firmer consistency than most gelatin-based desserts. They come in multiple flavors and often have bits of coconut embedded in them. But the low calories come with a dangerous drawback. Because they're slow to dissolve and it's easy to suck down the whole gel, they pose a choking risk to young children. So while they remain a popular snack abroad, and Konjac is still used in other ways, like a zero-calorie noodle substitute, the colorful snacks have been prohibited by the US since 2002. You might be shocked to know this next item could be illegal. You probably had it this week. Number 18, Unpasteurized Milk. Milk definitely...
Isn't it really dangerous, unpasteurized? I think I've seen this. I think I learned about this in school. Unpasteurized milk. Isn't it like really it's really bad for you, like, because it's like obviously it's not cleaned or whatever. Isn't that like when you just get the milk when it's straight from the cow's udder before actually like putting the chemicals through it and stuff? I've seen this somewhere. I don't know where. Because maybe it was in school because it's obviously it was legal or it is legal in the UK, of course, because it's things that aren't legal in the US. But yeah, I do remember hearing about this for some reason.
Isn't illegal in the United States. Countless quarts are sold each week, but almost all the milk sold in the country, and definitely all the milk at your local supermarket, has been pasteurized before sale in order to kill bacteria and render it more shelf-stable and safer for consumption. But some aficionados insist that pasteurized milk loses both the true taste and many of the nutrients of milk. Whether that's true or not, unpasteurized milk is 150 times more likely to cause illness than the pasteurized kind, according to the FDA. That's why it's banned in 21 states, and most of the other 29 strictly regulated. This next one used to be a common ingredient, but with a surprising kick. Number 17. Sassafras Oil. If you've heard of sassafras, it's probably as an old-timey candy flavor that your grandfather gave you. It used to be much more common, but it's mostly known today as the key flavor in old-school root beer. Many root beers are flavored artificially today, and there's a reason for that. Sassafras oil is double trouble. Not only has it been linked to an increased risk of cancer and kidney and liver damage, but it can be used to make psychoactive drugs. This is all due to a compound named saffron. And while it's been banned since the 1960s, extracts from the bark of the sassafras plant can still be sold if they're free of the dangerous compound. This next food might be banned in America, but it's iconic in Jamaica. Number 16. Ackee. The national fruit
Isn't that when they have ackee and saltfish?
of Jamaica. Ackee has been described as being a nutty fruit with the texture of
Never had it either, I'm
scrambled
not gonna
eggs.
lie.
That's made it a common component in the breakfast dish ackee and saltfish. But while it's a staple in the island nation, it poses a danger if not handled correctly. When the fruit is unripe, it's loaded with hypoglycin A, a toxin that can cause hypoglycemia and dehydration by impeding the body's ability to lower blood sugar. The raw fruit has been banned since 1973 by the FDA, but not all hope is lost for fans of the Jamaican treat. Canned and frozen fruits are available, although carefully regulated. But none of these foods can easily kill you. That's not true for this next one. Number 15. Fugu. No, this fish isn't banned because it can puff up and stick you with its spines. It's considered a delicacy in the sushi world, but only the masters of the sushi knife dare to serve it. That's because, as immortalized on an early episode of The Simpsons, hidden in the skin and
I thought I saw this from someone. I know I've seen these some clips that do these here and there ages ago. Isn't it like doesn't like Homer eat it and like he gets poisoned or
in
whatever?
some of the organs is an incredibly deadly toxin named tetrodotoxin. This neurotoxin can cause paralysis and can kill people who eat enough, and one wrong knife cut could contaminate the whole fish. For most people, that's enough to steer away, but many thrill-seeking gourmets are willing to take the risk, but the government isn't. Sale and consumption of fugu is banned in the United States, except for a few select chefs who are properly trained. But some regulations aren't here to protect us, they're here to protect the animals. Number 14. Horse meat. While horses aren't in
Bruh, that was a huge horse meat scandal in the UK. Maybe you heard about it, maybe you haven't. I mean, I'm not going to ramble, will I? Basically, it was like one of our biggest food chains. Not food chains. What's it called? Supermarket chains was selling like burgers. I think it was just normal burgers, and it got found out that like such a high percentage of the burgers were made from horse meat, or a higher percentage of the burgers made from horse meat or whatever. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy one because they so obviously lied about it. And you know, like when companies lie about things in their ingredients, that's a big if, man. Like you're in trouble. I don't know if that's just a normal thing for the world, but it's kind of wild to me how that they got away with that for so long.
endangered, they're viewed as beloved companions by much of the country, and eating them just seems rude. It's not illegal to eat horse meat, but it's not going to be easy. Slaughtering horses using slaughterhouses is illegal, as is importing the meat or selling it. While the meat is a common delicacy in other countries around the world, the US ban was just renewed in 2018, no doubt pleasing horse lovers around the country, even if they may swear otherwise after their horse comes in last at the Derby. But that doesn't take much for a species to become endangered, as this next fish found out. Number 13. Wild redfish. The redfish, or red drum, was a common game fish in the American South and was generally considered a good fish to eat, but it wasn't the most in demand, until one chef changed that. Paul Proudhome, a celebrity chef considered a legend of Cajun and Creole food, made a dish of blackened redfish that made this humble catch the hottest fish in town, and that meant fishing. Lots and lots of fishing, which quickly led to the population drastically decreasing. Since 2007, it's been a protected game fish, which prohibits the sale of any caught in federal waters. Fishing for the redfish is now banned in all states but Mississippi, although some farmed fish are available. And it's worked, the population is quickly recovering. Not many people can afford this next treat, but that didn't stop it from becoming endangered.
Caviar.
Number 12. Beluga Caviar. Caviar, the salty eggs of the sturgeon, is...
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie, I would never have caviar. I thought of eating like fish eggs. It's just a bit weird.
one of the most expensive delicacies in the food world, and a few were more prized than the caviar from the beluga sturgeon. Found in the Caspian and Black Seas, this fish's eggs are prized for their subtle flavor and could command as much as $200 an ounce. This demand was high, and the fish was soon on the verge of extinction. So in 2005, the US joined other countries in banning import of Beluga Caviar, hoping to help the species recover and repopulate. While a black market still exists, the species have survived to this
I respect it, actually. I tell you what, that's a good thing to do, especially for like the US taking a stand for something
day,
like that.
although it remains critically endangered. But it's not the only endangered treat from the sea. Number 11. Queen Conch. Most conchs are small, and some are among the most venomous animals in the world, but the queen conch, native to the Caribbean Sea, is one of the largest sea snails and has a meaty body that makes it a seafood delicacy. Its size makes it easier to catch, and that has made it an endangered species. While it remains a popular meal in Turks and Caicos, the United States has tried to reduce demand by banning its harvest in federal U.S. waters. But determined seafood fans can always head to the Caribbean. This next sea creature is a beloved resident of the ocean, but also on the menu. Number 10. Harvest in federal...
People eat sea turtles. Are you nuts? People eat sea turtles. Firstly, wouldn't that just be chewy as hell? And secondly, turtles, man. What?
Most kids probably associate them with the wise old sea turtle Crush from Finding Nemo. But these reptiles are considered a delicacy in many parts of the world. That's led many species, including the leatherback and hawksbill turtles, to become endangered. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service estimates that in California alone, 35,000 turtles are caught and eaten each year. While individual turtle species are protected and illegal to catch and sell, turtle meat as a whole isn't. In fact, you might be able to find turtle soup made from land or freshwater turtles on sale at a local supermarket. It might surprise you to learn we eat these next creatures more than vice versa. Number 9. Shark fin soup. Oh no, a shark! Stay out of the water! While most of us have seen movies involving killer sharks, we're actually a far bigger threat to them than they are to us. The gelatinous fins on large sharks are considered a delicacy and are used to flavor a popular Chinese soup. Shark finning, which involves cutting the fins off of sharks and throwing them back in the water, is increasingly considered cruel and has led to the shark population decreasing. While the sale of shark fins is only banned in 12 states and the soup is still a popular and expensive offering, the act of shark finning is totally banned in U.S. waters since 2000. The desire to protect sea life took this next delicacy off a lot of menus. Number 8. Chilean Sea Bass. It may be an ugly fish, but all it takes is a little rebranding to make a seafood superstar. Originally called the Patagonian toothfish, this meaty fish was renamed the Chilean Sea Bass to make it more appetizing. And it worked, a little too well.
Really?
The mass increase of fishing due to demand rapidly depleted the fish in the wild, and so the FDA stepped in. While it's not entirely illegal to catch this fish now, it's strictly regulated and only certified boats are allowed to catch the fish in specific numbers. But no animal welfare ban has been more controversial than the next one. Number 7. Foie gras. Almost as prized as Beluga Caviar, this meaty treat is made from the livers of geese that are heavily fattened, giving the liver an extremely rich and creamy taste. The controversy comes in how the fattening is achieved, using a type of force feeding called gavage that involves funnels down the geese's throats. While defenders say the geese lack a gag reflex and it doesn't harm them, animal rights activists say the process is cruelty to animals and points to the reaction of the birds. That's led to California banning the sale of the product, with multiple cities including Chicago and New York City following suit. While a national ban isn't in the works yet, the activists continue to make the case. But some of the next banned foods in the US might shock you. Number 6. Bushmeat. This isn't
Bushmeat? What the hell is bushmeat? I'm guessing it's like meat from the wildest of animals, like tigers, lions, or whatever, zebras.
so much a specific food as a class of foods. It's common among trophy hunters to go to Africa and hunt large animals, including giraffes and lions, usually as part of a legal hunting program supervised by local guides. While these thrill seekers might be able to display their trophies on social media to many jeers from animal lovers back home, they won't be able to bring their catch back home. Meat from African game hunts, named bushmeat by U.S. authorities, is strictly prohibited due to safety concerns, and customs agents will destroy any they find along with any items that might have come into contact with it. Some banned foods in the U.S. can pack a deadly punch in a small package. Number 5. Laetrile. Have you ever eaten an apricot pit? It probably had a slightly nutty, bitter taste that tasted a little like a weird almond. But eating apricot pits is strongly discouraged because they contain a deadly compound.
Don't apples contain cyanide as well? Apple seeds, but this is such a small amount.
Cyanide. This poison can be toxic or even fatal in large amounts, which makes it all the more shocking that some doctors were marketing it as a cancer treatment. Laetrile, also known as vitamin B17, is a controversial supplement processed from apricot pits and was touted by New Age pseudo-medical activists as a cancer cure. Banned in the US since 1980, it's been responsible for poisonings and may have been involved in hastening the death of famous actor Steve McQueen. But food or drink being poisonous hasn't always stopped its fans. Number 4. Absinthe. There are plenty.
Oh my days, absinthe. If I get started on this one. Thank God it's banned in the US, because I had this when I was like probably like 16. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Biggest mistake of my life. Oh my God. Oh mate, the thought of it just makes me want to be sick, man. I mean, oh, God, man. It is vile.
Plenty of potent spirits out there, but few deliver the kick that this bright green alcohol can. A green potion should be a giveaway that danger lies ahead, as any fairy tale fans will tell you, but absinthe has a pleasant, if intense, flavor of anise. The danger and, for some, appeal comes from the wormwood used to make it. This wood contains the chemical compound thujone, which can be toxic in large amounts. While the legends of absinthe being a powerful psychoactive spirit that drove people to insanity might have been exaggerated, it was still banned in the US until 2007, when its import was allowed as long as the thujone was below a certain level. But these last 3 entries might just make you lose your appetite. Number 3. Haggis. A meaty...
Haggis, I mean, I'm never trying this. But I am interested. I've seen it mentioned before in videos. I don't know, I can't remember why. But I've seen it in videos before that it is banned in the US. So I'm guessing we're going to see why it is now. I think it's to do with like the liver of like an animal or something, but I'm not too sure.
Pudding, this Scottish classic, has shocked many people with its ingredients. It's a sausage made from onion, oatmeal, and suet, and a collection of sheep's organs, including the heart, liver, and lungs, ground up and encased in a sheep's stomach before cooking.
Nuts,
While it's
man.
one of the most divisive culinary delights out there, most of the ingredients are harmless, with one exception. Sheep's lungs are banned from sale and import in the US because lung meat is considered a potential vector for respiratory disease. But that hasn't eliminated haggis from the United States entirely. It's still sold in a modified version made with ground lamb and often liver and heart, and canned versions are available. But if you ask Scottish expats, it's just not the same. The penultimate entry is a shockingly primal culinary delight from France. Number 2. Ortolan. A tiny songbird no larger than a thumb. This 1-ounce bird became one of the most notorious French luxury meals. The birds would be kept in covered cages, allowed to overfeed on grain so they'd become fat, and then would be drowned in Armagnac and roasted. The diner would eat the bird whole, feet first, spit out the bones. But the tastes of the wealthy caused the population to decline, and eventually France and the EU banned the sale and import of this tiny bird. The US soon followed, which means this favorite snack of royalty has mostly faded into history, and the ortolan bunting's population has rebounded. But the number 1 food on this list will shock you because it's the only banned food that might fight back. Number 1. Kasumartsu. Everyone knows a good cheese needs a little funk, unless you're a Kraft Singles loyalist. But Kasumartsu cheese from Sardinia takes this process to the extreme. Nicknamed the rotten cheese, it's a pecorino cheese made from unpasteurized sheep's milk. But it has a secret ingredient, fly larvae. It's deliberately seeded with...
Oh my fucking God. Why would you eat this? Why would you do this to your body, man? I'd have a little bite of this and my body would just go into shutdown. I'm not even joking.
The larvae, which turn into maggots and begin to eat through...
Just stop it, man. How is... The human race is messed up, man. I just can't with this species.
The cheese, making it softer and supposedly increasing fermentation. When it's ready, the cheese is served with the live, wriggling maggots still in it. And eaters frequently wear goggles because the bugs will leap out of the cheese at the face of the diner. While it's a beloved tradition in Sardinia, it's not surprising that it's been banned from the US for health reasons. Some food scientists even say it's possible for the larva to survive digestion and create a parasitic infestation in the intestine. Maybe those Kraft Singles are sounding better after all. For more shocking food
that is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Oh my days. A non-nutritive ingredient, you mean like the most garbage we hear. I used to pick sassafras leaves at camp and chew that on the stem or make tea. It was yummy and perfect for long hikes. I'm happy I live in Canada where I can eat Kinder eggs in peace. Didn't know that Kinder eggs were bad. I wondered why they were gone. So I even knew that. I've known that for ages. Alcohol makes a lot of people violent. Drivers crash into things, but unpasteurized milk might give you a stomachache. Our priorities are pretty weird. the weird topic for a video, I was busy replying to folks on Twitter when the notification bell rang for this video. But I mean, yeah, this was a crazy one. Some of these were wild. I was expecting more like sort of Kinder eggs in like sort of like more, I don't know, like already made things, but it was like weird things anyway. Like most of these were just strange foods or just like foods that not many people would have anyway. But it was an interesting video. I enjoyed it. But again, suggest a video like this for me that's maybe sort of focused more on like supermarket foods. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I don't know. I enjoyed it, and I mean, it's interesting to see why some of these things are banned and just what is banned and what isn't. But yeah, hopefully enjoy this one. If you want more infographic show reactions, suggest in the comments and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, peace.